Hello students, welcome back to this new session. In this session, I am continuing with the third module, that is solution of a PDE. Okay, so far we learnt the formation of a PDE by eliminating arbitrary constants and arbitrary functions. Now we'll continue our topic with the solution of PDE. Okay, so what do you mean by the solution of a partial differential equations? Any relation between the independent variables with the dependent variables such that it satisfies the given differential equation is nothing but the solution of a PDE. Okay, but you need to know one important point here. The solution of a PDE is never unique. There can be many independent solutions of the given PDE. Unlike your ordinary differential equations where you have a unique solution for a given ordinary differential equations. Okay, but in PDE you may have many independent solutions for the same PDE. Okay, so now let's understand what is a complete solution of a PDE. Okay, so any relation given like this to you is a PDE. Say f of x, y, z, p, q, where p and q are the partial derivatives of z with respect to x and y respectively. You know it very well. Okay. Now, yes, this will be a PDE of the form, general form I am just taking for you. Okay. So how do you get the solution of this? Okay. All we have to do is, yes, I just give you an example. Say z is equal to x plus a, y is y into y plus b. Okay. So I hope you remember that we had got the PD, we had to eliminate the arbitrary constants a and b. The PD we got was z is equal to p into q. Okay, so given PDE, it can be like this. So this is your PDE, and since this equation, yes, satisfies this equation, so this is going to be the solution of this PDE, yes or no? So here I can say that it is a complete solution because, yes, it's a complete solution of, yes, of the given PDE. Okay, yes. So complete solution is always written to be, yes, since small f is already used, I'll use capital F for representing the complete solution. F of x, y, z, relation between all the dependent and independent variables. With some constants it will appear, p and q will be not there, the partial derivatives will not be there. So the constants a and b, I'll again fix them, it will be equated to 0. So this is going to be your complete solution. So general form of a complete solution. Here I have given you the example. So this was the given PDE for you. The complete solution is here of that PDE. Okay. Now this is about the complete solution. Now what do you mean by the particular solution? The next part here is particular solution. So what do you mean by a particular solution of a PDE? Okay. So in general solution, you can call this as equation 1, I'll call this as equation 2. Okay. So in equation 2, this representing a complete solution of a given PDE. Okay. In particular solution, what we do is we substitute the arbitrary constants, we give them particular values for the arbitrary constants. The arbitrary constants a and b are there, right? So we give them particular values for the arbitrary constants. If we do so, the solution which we get is called a complete particular solution of a PDE. Okay. So this is, I hope the point is clear to you. All you have to do is, you have to substitute, you have to give particular values to those arbitrary constants. The solution which we get of the equation 2 turns to be a particular solution of a PDE. Okay. For example, substituting particular values for those arbitrary constants, you get the particular solution, okay, of the given PDE. The example is here, a is equal to 2 I am putting and b is equal to 3 I am putting. The solution which I get now is nothing but the particular solution of this given PDE. Okay, so I hope that point is clear to you. The next point here is general solution that you need to understand. What do you mean by the general solution of a PDE? Now let's understand what is the general solution of a PDE. Okay, so you had your complete solution like this: f of x, y, z, comma a, comma b is equal to 0. So arbitrary constants and the relation between the independent and the dependent variables, is it not? So what we will do here in general solution, we treat the one of the constants, say b, as a function of the previous constant, say a. Okay, so I'll get my complete solution something like this. into g of a is equal to 0. Now what we will do, I'll call this as equation 3. Okay, already 1, 2 I have given in the previous part of this. Okay, so now I will differentiate this equation. This was my equation 1. This is representing your complete solution. In that complete solution only, I am replacing b as g of a. Okay, so that means what? Another constant b I am expressing in with the help of the constant a. Okay, so now yes, we'll differentiate this equation 3 with respect to a partially. So dou f by dou a plus dou f by dou g into dou g by dou a or dg by dA, you can take it, is equal to 0. Okay, because g of g is a complete, it's a function of a single variable a. Okay, so you can take even dg by dA here. Okay, not necessary that you should take dou g by dou a here. Dg by dA is equal to 0. Okay, so call this as equation 4. I'll try to eliminate a from equation 3 and 4. Okay, from 3 and 4 eliminate a. The solution so obtained after eliminating that a is called the general solution of the given PDE. Okay, on eliminating a, the solution, the equation which we get, equation so obtained is general solution of PDE. I hope this point is clear to all of you. Okay, so you need to remember all this. What is the general solution, what is the particular solution, and what is the complete solution. Okay, so what do you mean by the singular solution of a PDE? Given the complete solution, say f of x, y, z, a comma b is equal to 0, calling again it as equation 1 since the beginning. Okay, so what do you mean by a singular solution we are speaking of? What we do here is we differentiate the given equation 1 with respect to a partially equated to 0, differentiate equation 1 with respect to b partially and equated to 0. Okay, we have got two sets of equation 1 and this equation dou f by dou a equated to 0 and dou f by dou b equated to 0, together call it as equation 2. Now try to eliminate a and b from 1 and 2. Okay, the equation so obtained after eliminating a and b is called the singular solution of the given PDE. I hope that point is clear to all of you. Now let's understand how to solve how to obtain the solution for non-homogeneous PDE. Okay, now let's understand how to take the solution of a non-homogeneous PDE by direct integration. Okay, so for that I'll directly start with the problems for this. It is very easy and simple. Okay, so let's go for the problems. Now let's solve this problem. Dou cube z by dou x square dou y is equal to cos 2x plus 3y. Let's see how to solve this by direct integration. Okay, yes, the solution, all of you please listen to me carefully, later you can solve the rest problems with me. Okay, see here, what is dou cube z by dou x square dou y? It is nothing but dou square by dou x square of dou z by dou y is equal to cos 2x plus 3y. I'll just split it, okay, and write for you. Okay, now further if I split this, it will be dou by dou x of, what is dou square by dou x square? It is dou by dou x of dou by dou x of dou z by dou y is equal to cos 2x plus 3y. So z is a function of both x and y here, and you have been given with the partial derivatives, yes, of z, third order partial derivative, yes, and it's a non-homogeneous, you can make out. Okay, because it is partial derivative with respect to x as well as y, both are present in the same equation. Okay, so it's clearly a non-homogeneous PDE, and after we split it we get it like this. Okay, that is part by part. Now what we do, we try to eliminate each and every dou by dou x, dou by dou x and dou by dou y, and simply we should be retained with z. For that, what is dou by dou x? It's a partial derivative of z with respect to x, this complete thing with respect to x. So to eliminate this dou by dou x, we have to simply integrate this complete thing with respect to x, treating y constants. Okay, integrating right here, integrating with respect to x, treating y constant. Okay, you are going to treat y constant and integrate it. If you do so, what do you get? Yes, so if you integrate the left hand side, this dou by dou x will be cancelled. You have dou by dou x of dou z by dou x alone here. That is equal to integration of the right hand side with respect to x. Integration of cos is sine of 2x plus 3y divided by 2. Okay, integration of cos is sine plus. Now instead of writing any arbitrary constant, what we do is we write the arbitrary function of y, because y was treated constant while differentiating with respect to x partially. So instead of writing any arbitrary constants, we write an arbitrary function, say f of y. I hope the point is clear to you. First, we are integrating with respect to x, treating y constant. Why? Because we have to eliminate the first part here. We are trying to eliminate this. For this, we need to integrate. For eliminating this, we need to integrate this with respect to x partially. Means what? Treating y constant, we are going to integrate it. Okay. So if you integrate the left hand side, one of it will get cancelled. You have only dou by dou x of dou z by dou y is equal to integration of the right hand side. Integration of cos is sine of 2x plus 3y divided by 2, the coefficient of x. 3y is constant, you don't have to do anything. Plus, instead of writing any arbitrary constant, you are going to give or take an arbitrary function of y, f of y. I hope the point is clear to you. Okay. Now why this? Why this? Because while differentiating with respect to x partially, you had treated y constants. Wherever y alone was there, the derivative of that with respect to x, you had treated 0. Okay. So to make the account of all that, we write an arbitrary function of y here. Okay, that should be clear. Now again, our motive is to eliminate again dou by dou x from here. Once again integrating. Okay, integrating this again with respect to x, treating y constant again. Okay, same. So if we once again integrate this equation with respect to x, treating y constant, again dou by dou x will get cancelled. You have dou z by dou y. Directly you can write dou z by dou y is equal to integration of sine. It is minus cos 2x plus 3y divided by 2 was there. Now again divided by one more coefficient of x, which becomes 4. Okay, because integration of sine is minus cos 2x plus 3y divided by the coefficient of x over here, which is 2. Already 2 is there in the denominator, that makes it 4, plus integration of f of y. We are integrating f of y with respect to x. F of y is completely a function of x, so completely a function of y. So when we are integrating with respect to x, what is integration of a constant with respect to x? If I'm integrating a with respect to x, it will be a into x or no? Likewise, what is the integration of f of y with respect to x? It will be x into f of y. Okay, x into f of y, plus again an arbitrary function should be attached. Okay, like previously we also attached here, instead of writing any arbitrary constant, we wrote a function of y as an arbitrary function of y. Is it? Likewise, again we are integrating with respect to x, treating y constant. So one more arbitrary function of y should be written. So g of y I am writing. I hope the point is clear to all of you. Okay. Now the only part left is dou z by dou y is left. So again we have to eliminate this dou by dou y. To eliminate this partial derivative of z with respect to y, I want z back from here. So I have to integrate with respect to y, treating x constant this time. Is it not? So go on doing it. You will get your answer. Back our z, we need to integrate with respect to y now, treating x constant. So right here, integrating with respect to y, treating x constant. Treating x constant. So you get back z from this, yes or no? Integration of this with respect to y gives you z is equal to, now you have to integrate this with respect to y. Once again, integration of cos, there is a minus sign, keep minus 1 by 4 as it is. Integration of cos is sine 2x plus 3y. Now since you are integrating with respect to y, the coefficient of y should be written in the denominator, divided by 3. Is it not? Plus x as it is, because it is constant. Integrating this, integration of f of y. F of y is an arbitrary function of y, which actually what it is we don't know. So we simply write integration of f of y as capital F of y, just for name sake. Okay, I'll just write as integration of f of y dy otherwise. F of y dy, okay, plus integration of g of y dy, plus instead of writing any arbitrary constant, as I told you before, while integrating with respect to x, you accompanied a function of arbitrary function of y. Is it not? Everywhere you wrote arbitrary function of y. Now while you are integrating with respect to y, treating x constant, that time you have to accompany an arbitrary function of x. I hope the point is clear. So you have to accompany a function of x here. So h of x I will use. Okay, or you can further simplify this as z is equal to minus 1 by 12 sine of 2x plus 3y plus x into this integration of f of y dy. I want to represent it as capital F of y plus integration g of y dy. I will write it as g of capital G of y plus an arbitrary function of x. These are all arbitrary functions of y only. Okay, I hope the point is clear, but the main part is this. Okay, main part is this. I hope the point is clear to all of you, how to solve these type of examples. Okay, by direct integration you just are going to split it, okay, and then take the respective integration. Okay, so while you are integrating, if it is dou by dou x you want to eliminate, you have to integrate with respect to x, but you have to treat y constant. Okay, and after integrating also, at the end, instead of writing any arbitrary constant, accompany a function of y. And reverse in case of y. Suppose you are integrating with respect to y, treating x constant, at the end, instead of writing any arbitrary constant, you have to accompany a function of, you are going to